Oh, hey. Hi. Yeah, I screwed it up again. But that's okay. Good morning. You know where you are. It's the Morning Night Live. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm just trying to find a little background music today. I think I'm going to do something mildly different today, though, because I want to have a little bit, slightly, not crazy different, but just a mildly different vibe. So instead of going just kind of a old school funk feel, I'm thinking maybe kind of a 90s pop feel. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, but not necessarily. Well, I don't know. I just have that. I have that thing going right now, and I just want to change it up a little bit. So let me just before. Okay, good. I have that down. We're gonna try this just a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit different today. Not completely out of hand, but oh, that's weird. I'm not getting any sound here. Let's see. Oh, that's awfully mellow. Well, I'm gonna try it anyway. It's super mellow. Oh, that's because this is so epic and peaceful. I don't want it peaceful. What the hell? Here. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to let you listen to this for a second. This is a little, it's kind of chill for me, though. Huh. This is, I pick categories and it gives me music. And this is it says it's happy and hopeful. Does this sound happy and hopeful to you? What the hell's wrong with me? Is this, and it's a little loud too. Hang on. All right, let me hold on. This is not gonna work. Oh, sometimes you just can't change a good formula. You just can't. You shouldn't change a good formula. And you should just go with what you know. Because this is like, this is elevator from hell. Okay. All right. Fuck it. Let's do this. Get off my thing. Ah. Yeah, that's a little better. Sometimes you just can't change a good thing. All right, let's talk. First of all, let's say good morning, because I don't know what I'm doing here. The first person today in the chat is my good friend, the gayest person on YouTube. You get the bell. Also, good morning to Green Thunder to Mighty. C. Thomas, my buddy Corbin's in the house. Advocatus Diaboli. Advocatus Diaboli, the devil's advocate. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors. Good morning, Becca Farley. Good morning, Richo. Good morning. Let's see, who else is here? Zombie Teddy. Whoa, you're here. How you doing? Hello, Maddie, the House of Geek, the news chick. Also, Daryl Parnas. And Duck Dog. I think I hit everybody that's in the chat so far. But people are rolling in slowly, but that's okay. Because today we're going to go and get under the circus tent a little bit and see what's happening in the old impeachment trial. Good morning, MC. It's hammer time. I have a special alert, a tip jar alert specifically for Hammer Time. Someone's got to hit Hammer Time's tip jar alert. I can't remember which one that is. It's a $7.49 one. It's the one that says Hammer Time next to it. If you go into my Streamlabs thingy down there, which is actually just called PDawgNight.live, which is the website for my Streamlabs, it gives you a list of what the current alerts are, and you can have some fun with that, please. Also, a reminder that the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live, and the biggest thing you can do right now is to share this stream right now. A few people have already done it. Becca Farley's already tweeted it out. She tweeted out before I did. I don't know how you did that. Also, Necrosaw Collins has already done it. I think Necro's coming in here sometime soon. Also, good morning to Renovacio, Tyler F. Haven't said hi yet. Hello. And we're about to kick this into gear. So, the impeachment follies have begun. And according to John Daniel Davison, the Democrats are losing their minds. Having realized their impeachment gambit is failing, Democrats have resorted to accusing Mitch McConnell of a cover-up and calling the trial rigged. So this is from yesterday. This is an article from the Federalist, which they're reliably conservative. I mean, I'm not going to say they're not. I'm giving you the full disclosure here. On Monday, as senators in the House impeachment managers prepared for the opening of President Trump's impeachment trial Tuesday, Democrats and their courtiers in the mainstream press decided to ratchet up their rhetoric to the point of delusional hysteria. Yes, they did. They did do that. Hang on a second here. I got to adjust some windows here to make sure I can see this chat better. There we go. The House managers, led by Representatives Adam Schiff and Gerald Nadler, issued a statement that essentially accused Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of a cover-up. That's some pretty hyperbolic language. A cover-up? Come on now. Saying his proposed rules for the trial are rigged. Nothing more than an effort to prevent the full truth of the president's misconduct from coming to light. That wasn't all. Schiff and the impeachment managers also called called on Trump's lead impeachment lawyer, Pat A. Cipollone, to disclose what he knows about the president's alleged behavior underlying the two articles of impeachment, saying Cipollone is a material fact witness and that the ethical rules generally preclude a lawyer from acting as an advocate at a trial in which he's likely also a necessary witness. Oh, well, that's an interesting statement. Because before I even read on, it's in the next paragraph. I don't even have to, I just read the next paragraph. Funny they should mention that. As my colleague Molly Hemingway pointed out on Twitter, Schiff himself is a material fact witness to this entire impeachment imbroglio, beginning with his office's coordination with the whistleblower. As for McConnell's rules being some kind of cover-up, compare them to the House impeachment inquiry, which turned up no evidence of a crime, despite Schiff stacking the deck in Democrats' favor by not allowing GOP members to call witnesses or ask substantive questions. By those standards, hi Richo. Sorry, I got distracted because I saw Richo's in the house. By those standards, McConnell's proposed rules are generous to Democrats, stipulating a 4-day calendar in which each side gets 2 days, 12 hours per day, just for opening statements. After that, senators would have 16 hours for written questions for the prosecution and defense, then 4 hours of debate, all to adjudicate a purely partisan impeachment probe. Wow, that had some alliteration to it. Now, didn't it? A purely partisan impeachment probe that, after months, failed to persuade even one GOP member of the House that Trump had committed an impeachable offense. To a certain mindset, apparently rampant among Democrats and media elites, none of this matters. Nothing we learned during the House impeachment inquiry, not to mention what we all know about Trump's phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after the White House released the transcript, seems to matter to Democrats hell-bent on delegitimizing the Trump presidency. If their impeachment removal gamble fails, as it surely will, he said inevitably, I said surely, 6 or 1/2 dozen of the other, they'll say it only failed because McConnell rigged the trial. Okay. Or because the president covered up his crimes by instructing key witnesses not to cooperate, or because all Republicans are corrupt. The narrative takeaway will be that Democrats tried to save the country and the Constitution by and the United States of America by removing a dangerous criminal from the White House. But were thwarted, and only the voters can stop Trump now by throwing him out of office in November. After all, the future of the Republic is at stake. So the overdone rhetoric, turned out to be contagious, especially for never Trumpers like Bill Kristol, a formerly serious person who on Monday compared the upcoming Senate impeachment trial to a show trial in an authoritarian state. Bill Kristol says, I grew up reading about show trials in authoritarian nations abroad. I didn't expect to see one of our two major parties endorse a show trial here in the U.S. Capitol. Just had to take a sip of the old reparations coffee there. Perhaps the best example of this fevered mindset whirling away in real time is a Twitter thread from Will Wilkinson of the Nick Hansen Center, who warned that an acquittal would amount to a war on the Constitution and the rule of law, and that McConnell will not only be striking a blow to our democracy, he will be communicating that there are no rules, only power. He goes on to suggest that McConnell is exposing the political process as a sham, that Trump is dead set on stealing the election to stay out of jail and line his pockets with impunity. Now, God, how is he going to steal an election? Didn't steal the last one, and don't give me any more bullshit about the Russians. That narrative. Sorry. I hate to. I'm really waiting for WikiLeaks sometime in this election cycle to reveal that where they got their information from. Because, and also, maybe I should just spend a day reading the WikiLeaks emails from 2016, because nobody seems to really care what was in those emails. Okay, their only strategy is to say, oh, the Russians stole those. So it doesn't matter what they say. It just matters that they were stolen. Even if they were completely 100% accurate, don't look behind that curtain. Just know that the Russians did it. Xenophobia, anybody? Don't they like to accuse you of xenophobia? What the hell is going on out here? Oh, some tree services out here with a big old truck. Anyway, I got distracted. Something shiny over there. So here's Will Wilkinson. The point of democracy is to channel disagreement and political conflict in a peaceful process. Once that process is seen to be a sham, acting outside that process starts to look like the only recourse. That's a recipe for civil conflict, political violence, and social disorder. Oh, you mean like in Virginia the other day? All that political violence that happened? Not. If you trash the constitutional order, trash democracy, you destroy the means to keep political authority from devolving into, he said into twice, but that's a typo. Typos on Twitter, you can't fix them. So I don't feel so bad about this. You can't use an editor on Twitter. And political conflict to keep political authority from devolving into factional power and political conflict from spilling into the streets. But that is what McConnell is doing on behalf of Trump's rank corruption. You know, could you imagine? Can you imagine how little we would know about the actual corruption that's going on if Hillary Clinton had won? How little we would know about the little dirty tricks they tried to pull with the old Steele dossier, and I'm telling you right now, that is stuff that's still being investigated. John Durham's still out there, and by at least some of the reports I've seen, he's finding some shit. And there's some people in trouble. In fact, James Comey, according to the New York Times, may have some problems, okay? Because despite the fact that he told us that nobody would prosecute Hillary for the mishandling of that classified information. Well, apparently James Comey was also mishandling some classified information, and even though no one would prosecute Hillary for mishandling classified information, I got a feeling they might prosecute your sorry ass for mishandling classified information. You know, like that leaking thing that you like to do selectively. Yeah. Hi, Six. Good morning. How you doing? So yeah, anyway, does Wilkinson really think that's what's happening here? Or does he just think that if the Democratic Party and its media allies fail to overturn the results of a free and fair election with a years-long string of investigations and half-baked accusations against the president, then that's really what amounts to election theft in the stuffed ballot box? Yeah. There, you know what? It's all day yesterday, and I'm listening to Democrats on and off. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but God, it was because it was. I'm not saying it was a snooze fest, but it's fairly repetitive, and they have their talking points. Okay, their talking points. The word cheat on the election. Okay, cheat. That's one of them. Because they wanted the people to think that not Donald Trump cheated in 2016 and that he's going to cheat in the next election. In fact, their whole strategy here, regardless of what they get done in these this impeachment trial, whatever, their whole strategy is to weaken the public's perception of the elections that happen, and they're trying to poison the well, saying, nope, he cheated in 2016, he's going to cheat in this election, and they're trying to delegitimize the elections. And even with the Mueller report, again, I say it over and over and over, the Mueller report, though it said supposedly the Russians systematically, tried to interfere in our elections, they still have never said once, not once have they quantified what the supposed Russian meddling did. Okay, they haven't tried to even pretend that it changed one vote. And in fact, you know what they also haven't done? They've never presented any evidence. See, they can just say it because they can't actually prosecute the people that they supposedly indicted for these election meddling crimes, right? So if they don't have to prove their case. They don't have to prove it. All they have to do is say it over and over and over again. And that's all they've done. They've given no evidence that they've given no evidence the DNC was even hacked. Okay? Now, the only information they've given about that is they they put some of the code public, apparently trying to say, well, no one understands this, but this is showing that the DNC was hacked. And yet there's experts out there. In fact, the #1 NSA computer analyst of all time, Bill Binney, says he read that underlying data they supposedly released and said, well, this couldn't have been a hack. This couldn't even have been a hack. It could not have been a hack. There's code and information in here that shows that the speed was too high for it to be a hack. It would have had to have been a download. Okay, it would have had, and that there's all kinds of things. I'll pull up a Bill Binney article one of these days and go through it. But it's just a crock. It's just a crock. So they don't have to prove it because all they have to do is say it over and over. Kind of like, another example. Remember how we got into the Iraq War when the FBI confirmed that Saddam Hussein had WMDs and had a weapons program, and how they didn't have to prove it. They didn't have to show you anything that said they actually had it. They showed you some fake write-up on whatever that was, the roaming chemical weapons plant and shit. They had no proof. But as long as they said it, they don't have to. They're supposed to be the trustworthy agency who never gets anything wrong. Gulf of Tonkin. I'm sorry. Until they actually show us the proof that the Russians hacked the DNC, I take it with a gigantic grain, or should I say snowball, of salt. Sorry. I'll believe it when you prove it. And you haven't had to prove it for it because those Russian, when you indicted a bunch of Russians, when you all of a sudden they had the big announcement, we're gonna indict some Russians, and you didn't have to prove it. And you know that the Russians are never going to be in an American courtroom in their entire life, because I don't think Vladimir Putin's going to extradite any Russians. You feel me? Do you really think Putin's going to expedite some Russians? You're fucking stupid. All right, you have to do a stream with me concerning WD and Iraq sometime. I would love to, MC. You're on Twitter, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen you on Twitter. I'd be happy to do that because I'd be interested in hearing. I'm sure you have a lot more on that than I do, but holy Shiite Batman. Anyway, also the Democrats have been playing language games. So I'm going to skip down in this article and go back to it. Language games reveal more than the Dems about the Democrats and Trump. So to make any rational sense in their arguments, they must evaluate terms like election theft. What is going on? Is it just me or did that get louder? Hold up. Let me fix that. Or is it just my headphones? Did that music just get really loud? I'm gonna try and turn this down a tiny bit. Oh, maybe it's just I'm not used to hearing vocals. This is supposed to be all instrumental, but anyway. All right. All right, back in it. To make any rational sense of their arguments, they must evacuate terms like, quote, election theft, quote, and democracy of all meaning. Trump, of course, didn't steal the 2016 election. That's what they keep saying. They claim that he stole the election. He didn't steal an election. Anyway, and if he wins again in 2020, that won't be a stolen election either. But this mangling of language is a common trope among the impeachment crowd. Eric Felton of Real Clear Politics Investigations noted in a thorough fisking of a brief from Democratic impeachment manager Schiff and his crew are convinced that thin allegations can be bulked up if repeated often enough. Felton points to the repeated use of the words and phrases like baseless, debunked, discredited, and conspiracy theory whenever impeachment managers discuss the question and assertions made by Trump or Rudy Giuliani about Ukraine or Hunter Biden. Over and over and over, they would talk about there's a debunked conspiracy theory about Hunter Biden. Oh, here's the other one they conflate. So, when Trump says, we've been through a lot in the transcript of that phone call, right? And we've been through a lot. We want to hear about what Ukraine's role was in our election, and you probably know about the CrowdStrike thing, right? So the Democrats they've decided to say that Trump was trying to say that the Russians did not interfere in the 2016 election. It was Ukraine instead. Now, I've never once heard that claim from the right, okay, or Trump even, okay? No one has ever said that they don't think the Russians tried to interfere in the elections. The Russians have tried to interfere in all of our elections. So has the Chinese, so has Iran, so has Israel, so has everybody, okay? But as far as how the effect of that, there's been none, okay? But anyway, when they bring up Ukraine, it doesn't say that they're not saying that the Russians didn't have Facebook ads or shit like that. They're just saying that the Ukrainians were trying to push for Hillary Clinton. And there's evidence of that, okay? It's not the first time the claims been made, and in fact, it was the New York Times? I can't remember where the article came from. But saying that, the Ukrainians wanted Hillary Clinton. That's not even uncommon knowledge. Now, did they interfere in an election, or were they part of the getting the dirt on Donald Trump? Well, I don't know. Probably not. Who knows? But to say that was debunked, to say that one is exclusive of the other, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to they're making it a conspiracy theory that the Russians didn't interfere in our elections, and it was the Ukrainians, not the Russians. No one's claiming that. For example, the brief entirely ignores a January 2017, it was Politico, January 2017 report in Politico about the efforts of officials in Kyiv to boost Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump in 2016, and instead repeat dozens of times that concerns or questions about a possible 2016 election interference from Ukrainian officials is nothing more than a conspiracy theory. Really? Oh, well, why don't you go back and read that article? Most Americans are wise to this sort of thing. They realized a long time ago that the political establishment of both parties care about power above all and have governed on behalf of special interests, not the people. Most Americans also know that despite earnest pans to the Constitution in recent months, Democrats don't give a shit about the Constitution. Yes, I embellished his language for him. I'm editing as I speak. And would be happy to get rid of much of it. Yes, they would, including the first two amendments, at least for other people other than them, of course, to the Bill of Rights. So in the days ahead, when Schiff and other Democratic leaders mentioned a rigged trial or a sham process, they're unintentionally invoking language that many Americans have been using for some time now, not about Trump, but about the political establishment they elected Trump to overthrow, and that's the end of that article. Thank you. Yeah, MC, it was Politico. Russia brought a few ads on Facebook, and they weren't all for Trump. Yeah, they didn't even... Yeah. The Russian ads weren't all for Trump. If they were just trying to, sow discord, then maybe they didn't really give a shit who won, because they weren't out there pumping for Trump, were they? Sorry, the Buff Bernie coloring book is my favorite of the bunch. But number 2 was the Devil and Jesus arm wrestling. Oh, because Trump certainly isn't Jesus. And Hillary Clinton's not. Hillary Clinton's not. Hillary Clinton's. Okay, Hillary Clinton's the devil. Never mind. All right, let's move on. So Adam Schiff has decided to make this whole impeachment thing. Why are my lines messed up here? Hold on a second. Let me fix this a little bit. We're gonna move this over and make it so you can see it because it's not seeable, and we'll do that. There we go. All right. Here we go. Adam Schiff tries to make impeachment about the Russian collusion hoax. But before I move on, good morning. Check your logic. How you doing? Anyone else pop in that in the chat that I haven't seen yet? Just trying to see here real quick. You know, before I do this, let's do this. Just a reminder. This is an important reminder. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll be celebrating. Oh, what the hell did I do there? We'll be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Morning Night Live. It'll be episode 250, and we're going to have. I hope we'll see who pops in. I kind of left it open to some people just to pop in and say hi. I'm going to be sending out a bunch of links to some of the people that have been guests on the show during the first year of the Morning Night Live. I also going to have my very first viewer will be a guest on the show. I'll remind you who that is tomorrow when he shows up. Also, we I might even have a. What the hell is that? My phone's buzzing. I might even have a cupcake or two with a birthday candle in it, just for the hell of it, because that sounds kind of fun. I don't know. It's kind of weird like that. And but just like I said, it is the 1-year anniversary of the Morning Night Live, episode 250, January 24th, 2020, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your people in the other places you go to come check out the Morning Night Live with PDawg Night, because, you know, you guys have been very good to me, and it's been fun, and it's always a good idea to share the fun with your friends and family. So there you go. Hey, Gasai, how you doing? Stopping my lurking for a hi from Senpai. Hey, I'll even give you a bell. I'll give you 2 bells. Oh, wait, that's not it. I'll give you that bell too. So, does this thing work still? For some reason, the interval is like 5 seconds between times I can use it. There, see, there's another one. Anyway, Lady Boomer, no, unfortunately, Lady Boomer won't be here tomorrow. She started a new job, and because now she's only working 4 days a week, we need to make sure she doesn't miss any days. Whatever. Is Maniac? Oh, hey, Maniac Man, you're here too. Sounds like Schiff is running out of steam if he's going back to the collusion BS. Yeah, he kind of is. He's. Anyway, let's get back into this article now. Oh, what'd I do there? Oh, I see what I did. I don't have the article up. So, let's see. Does that fit? Yes, it does. Lead House impeachment manager, Representative Adam Schiff, led his opening arguments in the Senate impeachment trial of President Donald Trump on Wednesday by citing allegations of Russian collusion that actually have been debunked. He keeps using that word debunked, but I don't think he quite knows what it means. Why are these tree people in front of my house? Is one of my trees causing a problem? Are they cutting down part of my tree? I don't know. I should check this out. Well, I'll check it out afterwards. They'll be here for a while. Schiff tried to argue that the Senate had a duty to remove President Trump from office, allegedly inviting foreign interference by Ukraine in the 2020 presidential election because he supposedly invited Russia to interfere in 2016. Now, this is one of those. There's a whole bunch of times. See, Trump talks a lot and says a lot of things and gets taken out of context a lot because it's called quote mining. Because you can take a quote from somebody that says something that may sound the way if you take that quote and add a question to the quote where it could be an answer to that question, even though it has nothing to do with that question. That's called quote mining. You pull out a quote that looks bad because the quote says what it says. Like, for example, if I use swear words in the stream and somebody cuts out that little bit of swear word, right, and says that I'm talking about somebody's mom, that's called quote mining. It has nothing to do with somebody's mom because I'm not talking about anyone's mom on this show. Okay? Well, here's what he did. He said, "We also took this step with the knowledge that this was not the first time the president solicited foreign interference in our election. In 2016, then candidate Trump implored Russia to hack his opponent's email account, something that the Russian military agency did only hours later." Say what? When exactly did he do that? Schiff's a dirty bastard. Schiff was referring to a press conference in July 2016 in which Trump joked about Russia finding the approximately 33,000 emails that former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had deleted from her illicit private email server. Trump made the joke after being badgered by the press to comment on allegations that Russia had hacked the Democratic National Committee's email server. The Clinton campaign had blamed Russia and had blamed Trump as well. You know, Hillary, who still says that everyone's a Russian asset, Trump's a Russian asset, Bernie Sanders is a Russian asset, Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian asset. Who's that one lady that ran for president what the hell's her name? Jill Stein. Jill Stein's a Russian asset. They're all Russian assets. The Russians are against Hillary. She has a Russian complex, doesn't she though? Anyway, Trump said specifically, "So it is far-fetched. It is so far-fetched. It's so ridiculous. Honestly, I wish I had that power. I'd love to have that power, but Russia has no respect for our country. And that's why if Russia, nobody even knows this, if it is Russia, if it is Russia, nobody even knows this, it's probably China, or it could be somebody sitting in his bed like, the fat hacker thing he always makes fun of. They probably have her 33,000 emails that she lost and deleted, because you'd see some beauties there. I have nothing to do with Putin. I've never spoken to him. I don't know anything about him other than he will respect me. He doesn't respect our president. And if it is Russia, which it probably not, nobody knows who it is. But if it is Russia, it's really bad for a different reason, because it shows how little respect they have for our country when they would hack into a major party and get everything. But it would be interesting to see. I'll tell you this. Hey, Russia, if you're listening, in a joking, mocking tone, by the way, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you'll probably be rewarded mightily by our press. Let's see if that happens. That'll be next. Yes, sir. He was fucking joking. It was a joke. Because, wait a minute. No, hold on. This is interesting. What was he talking about there? What was he talking about that they're looking for? These 30,000 emails? The 30,000 emails that were under subpoena in a possible criminal case that they just went and deleted because they thought they should just go delete them. Isn't that... Now, I know he's being impeached for obstruction of Congress, but it would seem that if you have information that the government has subpoenaed for you to turn in a possible criminal case, and you delete them, well, that would be obstruction of justice. I wonder if Hillary would have won if she would have been impeached for obstruction of justice. Who knows? We might never have heard about it. But anyway, this is what the Obama administration and now the House Democrats turned into an invitation to interfere in the 2016 election. Yeah, he made a joke, but Schiff decided to take the joke and go, oh yes, he was actually soliciting the Russians to interfere, to whatever. In Schiff's words, then candidate Trump implored Russia to hack his opponent's email account. Now, here's the other thing about that, which is freaking hilarious. So Trump is doing this in the background, trying to get the Russians to do all this stuff, trying to do it covertly. Why the hell would he blurt it out in a press conference as a serious thing? It's because he didn't. It was a joke, you dumbass. Trump said nothing about hacking. He was talking about Russia finding her emails, something that public reports suggest might have already happened given the lack of security on Hillary Clinton's private email server. Oh yeah, remember the one that was unencrypted for the first 6 months, running on Microsoft? What was that? It was one of the Microsoft network systems at the time that was totally susceptible to hacking with no encryption. Her unencrypted homebrew server, which probably was already hacked, and she was always using an unsecured BlackBerry for the first 3 months of being Secretary of State, running classified information, holding it in her basement. Some of it's supposed to be in JWICs and SCIFs, that they actually found on her server and found on Anthony Weiner's laptop because they were transferring it to his laptop, which was also unsecured, and the laptop that he was using to send dick pics to minors and went to jail for it. Oh, nobody could ever blackmail you for that. Fuckers. Hello, Galactic North. Good morning, Tales of Gore. Also, good morning, Necrosaw Collins. Anyway, so then Schiff also admitted in the Senate trial that impeachment was about stopping Trump's re-election. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, who is serving as a Democratic impeachment manager during the President Donald Trump's Senate impeachment trial, admitted on Wednesday that Democrats' partisan impeachment was about stopping the president from being reelected. Oh, yeah. Quote, the House did not take this extraordinary step lightly, Schiff began. As we will discuss, impeachment exists for cases in which the conduct of the president rises beyond mere policies, disputes to be decided otherwise, and without urgency at the ballot box. Instead, we are here today to consider a much more grave matter that is an attempt to use the powers of the presidency to cheat in an election. For precisely this reason, the president's misconduct cannot be decided at the ballot box. Hello, Functional. Hello, Chi-Town J. We cannot be assured that the vote will be fairly won. You know, hi, Sheograph. Hi, bye. Were you? I didn't see your Sheograph. Yeah, here he is saying this.
The House did not take this extraordinary step lightly. As we will discuss, impeachment exists for cases in which the conduct of the president rises beyond mere policies, disputes to be decided otherwise, and without urgency at the ballot box.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on.
Instead, we are here.
Sheograph, safe travels. Are you driving? Oh, you're heading up Hesburgh. Pray for safe roads, LOL. Yeah, I don't even know. It snowed a little bit here in the Twin Cities. Anyway, Sheograph, have a safe trip. I want to make sure you are careful out there up in the old North Dakota. Right.
Today to consider a much more grave matter and that is an attempt to use the powers of the presidency to cheat in an election for precisely...
Over and over, to cheat in an election, 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 to cheat in an election. And that's the soundbite that you get from the Mockingbird media. But anyway... Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. All right, you can hear me. You guys can hear me all right, right? Sounds like for some reason, my level went down. Let's try this. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, there we go.
This reason, the president's misconduct cannot be decided at the ballot box.
Oh, no, we can't have an election.
We cannot be assured that the vote will be fairly won.
Okay. Just stop right
in corruptly using his office to gain a political advantage.
Right there. What do you mean can't be fairly won? How? And, the other line they use over and over again, trying to get a foreign country to interfere in an election. Is there an election? Is Joe Biden the current Democratic nominee? How exactly you want? Is getting information from a foreign country interfering in an election? I mean, now they need to think before they answer that question, because they know they got foreign interference in the 2016 election from the Democratic side because they paid for it. They paid a former British spy to get information from the Russians. They paid for information from a foreign spy to the Russians. Is that interfering in an election? Because that's exactly what y'all did. So I don't know. Your claim there is pretty weak. Also, Schiff claims Trump implored Russia to hack his opponent's email account. Yeah, that's the same article, which he made a joke. It's kind of like, they quote mine him all the time because, it's they're fine people on both sides. But they changed the question to he was talking about neo-Nazis. There's fine people on both sides. No, there are no fine neo-Nazis. And Trump specifically said he's not talking about the neo-Nazis and white supremacists. But they used the quote, fine people on both sides, and then say he was talking about the neo-Nazis and white supremacists. They said it right out at the beginning, and so now they've repeated that so many times. If you go on Twitter and say, you know what, he didn't say that that the neo-Nazis and white supremacists were fine people on both sides, all the people who want to believe that are like, he said they're fine. He said white supremacists are fine people. He said Nazis are fine people. No, he didn't. Clearly didn't say that. In fact, if you read, again, you have to read the whole transcript of what he said. And he specifically pointed out the neo-Nazis and white supremacists were not who he was talking about. Or when you talk about President Trump saying that Mexicans are rapists, he said they're rapists. They're rapists. Here's what he said about Joe Biden. Here's what he said about the Mexican people. They're rapists. But then when you take the entire sentence in context, he didn't say they're, T-H-E-Y-R-E, because it was in the context of what Mexico was sending. And he said Mexico, they're not sending their best. They're sending crime, they're sending drugs, they're rapists, and some of them are fine people. They're sending drugs, crime, they're T-H-E-I-R rapists, and some of them are fine people. Otherwise, you'd have to believe that immediately after saying Mexicans are rapists, then in the next sentence he says some of them are fine people. I've never ever met any rapists who are fine people, because it wouldn't have made sense. So if you take it in context, but no, they certainly they certainly heard those two words in succession. So they think they were talking about the Mexicans that way. But that's not really what happened. But, and that was, and again, and so, I'll eventually get this video done. And so when they're asking him about it afterwards, and he's answering the question, well, yeah, that they are sending that is who's they're bringing now. Not all Mexicans are bad, but this is some of the ones that are coming across the border. They're they sent this kind of thing, and he's not clearly he's not understanding what they're trying to imply, because he knows what he was saying, and they quote mined and changed the meaning of what he said. And you know what? Some people are going to argue with me to the death on this, and I don't care. I will prove how the English language works. All right. And speaking of which, someone did mention this, that there's a new migrant caravan. They're coming up through Central America, and the Mexicans are trying to stop them at their border. I know they got through some of the border, but they're still trying to catch them on their trip. But it's one of those things. All right, so let's see. Do I want to talk about impeachment anymore? I really don't. It's gonna go on today. Although it's interesting. They ended early last night because it started at 1. It's supposed to go to 1 in the morning, and I think they finished about roughly 9:30 Central Time, or no, maybe it was 9:30 Eastern Time. But I think they ran out of steam. Let's see, what else we got? This is the one I do want to do, though. The top 7 lies that Adam Schiff has told so far to boost his impeachment cause. And we'll finish, this will be the last impeachment thing we do today, because there's plenty more tomorrow, or plenty more today, and we'll talk about tomorrow. Top 7 lies Adam Schiff has told to boost impeachment. Like, Adam Schiff is a liar. Like most Democrats, he cares more about ousting Trump than the facts. So much, in fact, he's repeatedly turned a blind eye to the facts to smear Trump in the hopes of swaying public opinion against the man who dared defeat the Queen, Hillary Clinton, in the 2016 election. Yes, I do embellish on some of these articles. Yes, I am the overlord of editing. It's already been proven that Democrats have plotted the impeachment of Donald Trump since the first day he took office. For over 3 years, they threw anything they could at him, and Schiff was doing his part to advance the narrative that Trump should be impeached by pushing bogus information and outright lying to the public. Below are 7 examples of Schiff's lies designed to boost impeachment of the president. Number 7. We're going back in reverse order. Promoting the bogus Steele dossier he knew was not credible. Any idiot could have read the Clinton-funded Steele dossier and known it wasn't credible. Schiff also had to know the information in it was uncorroborated and full of inaccuracies, embellishments, and lies. Nevertheless, he promoted the dossier as a legitimate piece of anti-Trump intelligence. Except it never was. According to Inspector General Michael Horwitz's report on FISA abuse, the FBI had corroborated limited information in Steele's election reporting, and that the CIA viewed it as an internet rumor. Rolling Stone even noted that the report is especially hostile to Schiff's claim that the FBI provided additional information obtained through multiple independent sources that corroborated Steele's reporting. That's because the supposed multiple independent sources all got their information from Steele. Steele, what's the word for it? He kind of salted the stack, so to speak. He leaked his information out to the news agencies, then presented his dossier, and then they confirmed it through the multiple sources that he leaked the information to. Back then, Democrats were hoping for collusion to be true so they could justify impeachment on anything. Even blatant lies was on the table to make impeachment happen. Number 6, his repeated claims of having ample evidence of collusion. Oh, remember that? On several occasions, Adam Schiff declared there was ample evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, and that he had seen it. Where is it, sir? There is already, in my view, ample evidence in the public domain on the issue of collusion if you're willing to see it, Schiff said back in February 2018. If you want to blind yourself, then you can look the other way. Of course, we all know that the Mueller report found no evidence of collusion, so Schiff was lying every time he claimed to have seen evidence of collusion. Schiff's goal of impeaching Trump would have to wait for another lie. Number 5. Deny FISA abuse, even though he knew it happened. Yes! Now, I don't even know if I need to go into this, but remember, Devin Nunes came out with a little report, or the Nunes memo. Remember? The Nunes memo telling all these different problems with the FISA process. And then Adam Schiff came out with his counter memo. And the media just fawned all over Adam Schiff's counter memo. And yet, who was right? Who was right? Hashtag Nunes was right. Ding. Back in 2017, then House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes of California revealed that evidence of FISA abuse has been uncovered by investigators. We have had an ongoing investigation into DOJ and FBI since midsummer for both FISA abuse and other matters we can't get into much, but it is very concerning, he said. A couple months later, the House Intelligence Committee released a memo on surveillance abuses by the Obama administration. For Schiff, any abuse of the FISA court system might undermine any impeachment narrative that might present itself with regard to the 2016 election and Russian collusion. So, Schiff had to mock the Nunes memo relentlessly to keep the message on track. Schiff denied that any abuses had occurred in his own memo released shortly thereafter. As the ranking Democrat on the committee at the time, Schiff had access to the very same information as Nunes, so he knew the Nunes memo was accurate. When the Horowitz report ultimately proved that Nunes was right, what was that hashtag? Nunes was right? And I wish that hashtag would have trended when the Horowitz report came out, because Nunes was exactly right. Everything he had in his memo was corroborated by the IG report that Horowitz put out. And everything that Schiff put in his memo was, there's a word for it, ladies and gentlemen, bullshit. When the Horowitz report ultimately proved that Nunes was right, what was that hashtag? Schiff conceded there were abuses, but claimed not to have seen evidence of this before, even though he had. And even if he hadn't, did he look into Nunes' memo to see if, what was that hashtag? Nunes was right? But they say he had the information, so he just lied about it. Anyone who would still defend the FISA warrants of Carter Page after the Horowitz report is deceiving themselves or you. There's no defending it. Nunes was right about that. Schiff was wrong, said Bloomberg columnist Eli Lake. Number 4, lying about having contact with the whistleblower. This was a good one. PolitiFact isn't exactly known for being fair to Republicans, but when Adam Schiff claimed we have not spoken directly with the whistleblower during an interview on MSNBC on September 2019, they couldn't exactly cover for him when it was revealed by the New York Times that Schiff's staff had been colluding with the whistleblower and was aware of the whistleblower's concern in advance of them going public. While it was not publicly known that Schiff's committee had communicated with the whistleblower ahead of the complaint's filing, Schiff knew the truth, explained PolitiFact. PolitiFact when you don't have PolitiFact, you are a very bad lefty Democrat. Sorry, PolitiFact is not there to be a fact checker. They're there to savage, so to speak, savage the Republicans and right people and be a lapdog for the left. And yet PolitiFact even said you were full of shit. When given the chance to say that the whistleblower had reached out to the Committee of Aid, he did not. He lied. Number 3, representing a key text message. This was the big one from the other day. According to a report from Politico, Schiff mischaracterized impeachment evidence that was used during the House Democrats' impeachment investigation. In a letter sent to House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler, Schiff claimed that Giuliani associate Lev Parnas continued to try to arrange a meeting with President Zelensky, which is based on a text message from Parnas to Giuliani that read, "Trying to get us Mr. Z." The rest of the exchange was redacted, but Schiff clearly knew that the redacted portion made it clear that Mr. Z actually referred to Mikola Zlochevsky, the founder of Burisma. Hi, Mike Savage. I don't know if I said hi to you yet, but I'm saying hi right now. And Chi-Town J. But you were here earlier. Anyway. Number 2, claiming Ambassador Sondland's testimony proved there was a quid pro quo. On Tuesday, once again, Schiff told a whopper by misrepresenting Ambassador Sondland's testimony. Quote, Ambassador Sondland also said that we're often asked, was there a quid pro quo? The answer is yes, there was a quid pro quo. There was an absolute quid pro quo, Schiff said. Ooh, fun with consonants. Here's the problem. By Sondland's own testimony, he didn't know definitively if there was a quid pro quo. He was presuming, and that was his exact words, presuming there was. Is that your testimony today, Ambassador Sondland, that you have evidence that Donald Trump tied the investigations to the aid? Because I don't think you're saying that, Representative Mike Turner asked him. I said repeatedly, I was presuming, Sondland noted. After questions, Turner asked more pointedly, so you really have no testimony today that ties President Trump to a scheme to withhold aid from Ukraine in exchange for these investigations? Other than my own presumptions, Sondland said. And number 1 lie so far in this whole impeachment fiasco, Adam Schiff's fictional version of the Trump-Zelensky phone call. Remember, when the transcript of the phone call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky was released, and Democrats were falling all over each other, claiming the transcript was even more damning than they had imagined. Well, it wasn't damning enough to Adam Schiff, who, when claiming to read the transcript on the House floor, fabricated the entire transcript into something far more sinister than it actually was. Now, I don't think he was claiming that he was reading it word for word, but he certainly tried to make it sound like he was absolutely giving you the full essence of the conversation, but it was not. And even though it was just straight bullshit. Let's just put it that way. Criticism over the deception caused him to backpedal and claim that his reading of the transcript was meant as a parody. Oh, it was just a parody. If the conversation were as damning as Schiff et al. Would like, he would have simply read directly from it, instead of making up a dialogue. Fox News' Brett Hume wisely observed in a tweet, probably not surprising in light of the extravagant collusion claims he's made for 2 years. So there you go. All the BS from Shifty, Shifty boy, Adam Schiff. But now look, let me just, let me do one thing here though about this whole testimony yesterday and the Democrats. Now they are they're laying out their case, and there are issues with maybe how Trump dealt with this whole situation. I'm not even denying that. But the impeachment part of this, no, this is not about anything except I still say it. I'm gonna say it over and over. I'm gonna say it till This is over, and I'm going to say it when they try to impeach him a second time and they come up with more articles of impeachment and have to go through this bullshit again, in 3 or 4 months, because they're going to do it. I guarantee you that the Senate's going to slap this down, and then they're going to come up with new articles of impeachment based on new information, of course. But I'm telling you, this is all about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Okay. Now, the thing is, though, they're going to get Pence, and you're going to see today that President Pence is trending on Twitter today. The be careful what you wish for, wishful thinking. But I think they want to try to get Pence too. Hey, Ree, I didn't notice you there. Hello, how you doing? Has anyone ever asked the Ukrainian president if Trump did all these things? They did, and he said no. He said that there was no pressure. But now Schiff did go through that yesterday too, saying, well, of course he's going to say that because he needs this. He needs the aid. And they made him sound like a pathetic little bitch in the testimony yesterday. Like he's just cowering in fear, and he's just going to say whatever Trump wants because he knows Trump is going to slap him down and he's going to take away the aid and this desperately needed aid to fight in their war against Russia. That this particular aid that didn't get held up beyond its deadline and wasn't really supposed to be used until the next fiscal year because the current year funding already has been released. They're already had the weapons allocated and whatnot. Remember that part? Yeah. I got another one here. So yeah, that's the Democrats' take on the fact that this Ukrainian president and the last Ukrainian president both said that Trump wasn't trying to pressure them into whatever. So, anyway, the president is obligated to leverage American assets to motivate foreign leadership to cooperate with investigations of international crime by our elected officials. Yeah, you know what? That's the other part that the other language they've been, oh my God, hang on. The other language that they keep using is debunk, conspiracy theory, whatever, in regards to Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Well, who has debunked that? Okay, why was the ambassador Yevyatovich or whatever her name is? Why was she briefed on the fact that this could be some sensitive information regarding the fact that Hunter Biden was working for, was on the board of directors of some big oligarch in Ukraine's energy company that was under investigation? What was the talking points that she was briefed for that for? I don't even know if they asked her. Well, what kind of talking points were they giving you for that? Because that is concerning, right? If the former vice president was getting favors for his son and his family while he was vice president, and then we had an actual quid pro quo regarding a prosecutor in Ukraine. Oh, we're you know what? If he's not fired before I leave here in 4 hours, you're not getting the $1 billion. $1 billion with a B. Was that military aid? Was that vital aid that also could have possibly affected our national security? Aid they needed to fight Russia, even though the Obama administration was only giving them non-lethal aid. So, yeah, and so the president of the United States is wondering, what's going on with this? And oh, by the way, there is some conflicting reports regarding the so-called investigation of Burisma, because they didn't start an investigation after Trump asked them for this stuff. They never did, except now we're finding out it's possible that the Ukrainians were already investigating Burisma again. And so now I kind of wonder, okay, so he's supposedly pushing for these investigations because he didn't know that they were. Could it be that the Ukrainians had already opened up their investigation, and they didn't want anyone to know about it yet. And so Trump, asking about this is kind of like, okay, whatever, we'll play it off, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But maybe Trump somehow knew about it. Who knows? Because now there's reports that they may have already been investigating Burisma again. Anyway. Let's see here. Moving on. Gosh, So some of the other headlines: Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton shreds Democrats' day one opening arguments in 8 minutes. I'm gonna put that one in the chat. Tom Fitton's pretty good at this stuff, but I'm not gonna get into that one now. That's in the Daily Caller article. That one's in the chat. What else? Josh Hawley, Chief Justice impeachment criticism in response to extraordinary Democratic annex. Yeah, he basically read the riot act to Gerald Nadler, even though he said, both sides need to chill. On Wednesday, a Senate freshman, Josh Hawley, had some particularly harsh words for the way House Democratic impeachment managers comported themselves thus far during the Senate's nascent impeachment trial. This is I think it's a Daily Caller article, isn't it? Or Daily Wire, excuse me. Impeachment trial day one, epic fail for the House managers, Hawley tweeted. They used 13 hours to grandstand, repeatedly taking rebuttal time just to delay, attacked senators, alienated their audience, admonished by the Chief Justice for unprofessionalism. If this is the best they can do, they should just stop now. But Hawley, a former prolific constitutional attorney and Missouri Attorney General who once served as a law clerk on the United States Supreme Court for Chief Justice John Roberts, also had some strong words to describe the Democratic antics that precipitated his former boss's remarkable rebuke in the wee hours of the morning of the rambunctious trial he saw unfolding before them. As Daily Wire reported earlier today, Roberts reprimanded what he deemed the overly fraught and puerile behavior of the dueling parties. Quote, "It is appropriate at this point for me to admonish both the House managers and the President's counsel on equal terms to remember that they are addressing the world's greatest deliberative body," Roberts sternly rebuked. "One reason it has earned that title is because the members avoid speaking in a manner and using language that is not conducive to civil discourse." In the 1905 Swain trial, a senator objected when one of the managers used the word pettifogging. A presiding officer said the word ought not to have been used. The Chief Justice continued, "I don't think we need to aspire to that high a standard, but I do think those addressing the Senate should remember where they are, because there's some strict rules of decorum in the Senate, and they're kind of pushing those lines." The Chief Justice excoriation took Hawley aback, as Fox News reported. Hawley said he has never heard Roberts deliver an admonishment like that from the bench ever. He chooses his words very, very carefully, Hawley continued. According to Fox News, he cited a 1905 impeachment case in which one of the sides was using language that was thought to be inappropriate. And so, while he was careful to, I think, to be as even-handed about it as appropriate judicially, it's very clear what the impetus for that was. Representative Jerry Nadler's getting up and calling the president's counsel a bunch of liars, which was unbelievable. That's an extraordinary thing to say on the floor of the United States Senate in the middle of the trial, and that's what drew the rebuke from Roberts, and rightly so, Hawley concluded. I can tell you, there was an open gasping on the Senate floor when Nadler was saying these things. Because, you might be able to say that shit in the House, but don't say that shit in the Senate. Chief Justice Roberts, a George W. Bush High Court nominee, who was widely reputed to care tremendously about preserving the purported non-politicization of Alexander Hamilton's least dangerous branch, famously analogized the role of a Supreme Court justice to that of a baseball home plate umpire calling balls and strikes during the Senate Judiciary Committee confirmation hearing. This time, Roberts really is just the umpire, Politico observed earlier this week. He's not the one we're tuning in to see. And the game's most important decisions and actions belong to other people. And the rulings he makes, and for once, can be made under an umpire's decision-making conditions, all by himself, yes or no. and maybe in real time. But anyway, so Holly, who worked for Justice Roberts, certainly was taken aback by that particular admonishment by Justice Roberts. All right. All right, let's get into Twitter trends because I'm running behind. Hey, just a reminder, though, this is big for me tomorrow. Tomorrow is my 1-year anniversary on the Morning Night Live, even though it's technically last Friday. But the show that we're celebrating is tomorrow. So please, please, please remember to share out the stream. Make sure that you, if you're on Twitter, please retweet the tweet for the show tomorrow. I'm going to put it out one more time tonight. Should have a whole bunch of people here tomorrow. And I will have a bunch of guests, just kind of sporadically. They'll be coming in and out of the stream. And we're gonna have fun, but we are going to talk about some of the news of the day with a bunch of people here. Maybe talk about also some of the biggest things that we've talked about in the last year. Our favorite stories from the last since January 2019. I know what mine is, but I'm not going to say it right now. You probably already know if you've been here long enough. So there you go. So hi, Patrice. How are you doing? Let's finish out with little Twitter trends today. And also thank you so much, Tyler F., also for tweeting out the show. Remember, you can hit the share arrow down below. You can share on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Tumblr, all those things. And then also make sure that you haven't done so already. If you like what we're doing, hit the like button. I'm reminding you now, and I'm going to remind you when we leave. Hit the like button if you like what we do. Duck Dog, hit that don't like the thumbs down. Hit the thumbs up arrow, okay? Hit the thumbs up. And if you want to do super chats and or donations, the Streamlabs link is in the description down below. For some reason, the bot is not working today, so you can find that down there. Or just go to PDawg.live. That's the website with my that's my Streamlabs website. That'll have information and whatnot, and also the donation link is also there. So let's get into Twitter trends. Let's see what's on top of the Explore tab. If it works here, let's see. Oh, Star Trek Picard. You know, I can't decide if I'm excited about this. And I really like that version of Star Trek The Next Generation with Picard and all the gang. And they're bringing back now this is going to be on CBS All Access, so I'm not even going to get to see it because I'm not going to pay for another damn streaming service. But it is interesting that he is doing another show. I know he was on The View the other day, and he invited Whoopi Goldberg to actually reprise her role, and she got kind of teary-eyed, which I thought was kind of cool. But anyway, stream Star Trek Picard now only on CBS All Access, which I do not have, so there you go. Ain't happening. But here's the little clip from The View. See Whoopi Goldberg's emotional reaction when Patrick Stewart officially invites her to return to Star Trek for a season 2 of Star Trek Picard. It was wonderful having you, and we cannot wait to have you with us again one more time. Here's the
senior
clip.
executive I need to bring up. If that's okay.
Yeah. Please.
I'm here with a formal invitation. And it's for you, Whoopi.
Oh, for me?
Alex Kurtzman, who is the senior executive producer of Star Trek Picard, and all of his colleagues, of which I am one, want to invite you into the second season.
That's, you know what? I don't care what you think about The View. I don't care what you think about Whoopi Goldberg as, a View host. But I just think that is so sweet that he did that. I think that's very cool. Her role on that Next Generation was a pretty good role. You know what? That's just touching, isn't it?
That's coming to you now, huh?
So good for Whoopi Goldberg, and that's really cool that they're going to do that. All right, let's move on real quick. So now let's get into Twitter trends. It is Thursday, of course, And what happens every day of the week? Something with the day of the week is in the top Twitter trends. And obviously, the day number one is Thursday Thoughts, as opposed to Thursday Thoughts. But we might end up with a thought in Thursday Thoughts. Let's find out. Top Thursday Thought. Let's see. Oh, Liberty Nation. Liberty Nation's up here every damn day. Now, I don't know if the curly-haired chick runs Liberty Nation. I know she's involved with it. Conservative news, commentary, and analysis, Uprising, podcast, Liberty Nation Radio, and more. I think there's got to be somebody else involved with Liberty Nation. I don't think it's just what's her little curly-haired Kent State gun girl. But anyway, HBO has offered CNN host Brian Stelter a spot in its upcoming documentary exploring fake news. The paradox seems to be lost on HBO. Yep. There you go. It's like Brian Stelter, of all people, to be on in a documentary exploring fake. Maybe here's the thought. Possibly they're using him as an example. I can't stand it. Ted Lieu on Thursday Thoughts. Progress will not be stopped. Apparently Utah just banned conversion therapy for children. Okay. I didn't know they were still doing conversion therapy anyway. Ryan Tox says, good morning. Trump is guilty. Pass it along. Oh, good for you. And then here, it's Stoners. Are you here? Are you there? This is a piece of engineering for Stoners. I have no idea what that is. Is it, what the hell are they doing? Oh, this is an interesting thing. Some kind of new type of bong that is an engineering marvel. I'm really looking for a Thursday thought. There's our Thursday thought of the day. Don't give up. I gotta fix this. Okay, hang on a second. I made all these adjustments yesterday, and for some reason, they're not. They must have reverted back to something. Here, this is what I want it to look like. I want to be able to see the shit that gets tweeted. There. Now it's right in the middle. There you go. That's where it's supposed to look like. All right. So anyway, there you go. There's your Thursday thought, because I don't want to waste any more time on Thursday thoughts. Number 2 trending today. It's National Pie Day. Yay! I love me some pie. Hey. Nice mind. I see you right there. I see what you thought when I said I love pie. I know your dirty mind. You know who I'm talking to. I know exactly. Yeah. You know you thought it right off the bat. I know what you were thinking. No, it's National Pie Day, as in pie, as in actual. Oh, wait a minute. Pie? No, 123. I thought 314 was Pie Day. Oh, that's the other pie. Anyway. Apparently it's National Pie Day, which seems a good excuse to post one of the oldest known pie recipes out there. Written in Akkadian, cuneiform, and dating back to 1750 BC, it has a filling of bird meat, leek, onion, garlic, rue, and milk, encased in garlic and leek dough. Delicious. Interesting. I wonder what kind of bird they used back then. It could have been any kind of bird, I suppose. Bird is bird. They probably taste like chicken, right? So anyway, that's the oldest known pie recipe. Also National Pie for National Pie Day. Here's an interesting pie graph that I actually understand. Sky, sunny side of a pyramid, shady side of a pyramid. Okay, that's a joke. That's a pie chart there, with the blue part being sky, the yellow part being the sunny side of the pyramid, and the brown part being the shady side of the pyramid. That's a pie joke. It's National Pie Day. What's your favorite? Mine, this is savory steak pie, sweet apple pie, hot with ice cream. I am very particular to strawberry rhubarb pie, with maybe perhaps ice cream or just a really nice fresh whipped cream. And then like kind of close second is sweet potato pie, and I make a homemade Kahlua whipped cream, and I doppel that on a little sweet potato pie. It is fan-freaking-tastic. Anyway, Waitress the Music. Happy National Pie Day to Waitress fans. What does your pie say about you? Gemini, a little weird and wild berry pie. Cancer, the key lime pie. I like key lime pie. Leo, raspberry, buttermilk and custard pie. Virgo, wake up and smell the coffee pie. Libra, aren't you sweet potato pie? Scorpio, big ugly strawberry. I gotta make this bigger. I can't even see it. Okay, so it gives you a pie for each of the for the zodiac signs. Whatever. Here, if you want to see that, here you go. I'll put that in the chat if you want to know what pie fits your zodiac pie. All right, moving on from National Pie Day. Let's see what else we got here. Number 3, President Pence. I told you this one was trending. There's people. By the way, if you're familiar with the Kassenstein brothers, by the way, hi, James Colley and Greg Rogers. Glad you're here. Also, Peter Allman, some other voices, and Richo. Richo's here too. So if you're familiar with the Kassenstein brothers, they got kicked off of Twitter. Well, apparently one's now he's tweeting under his wife's name. Now I don't know if this was her account, but he's like, if you go under Trump tweets, all of a sudden Mrs. Kassenstein shows up. So anyway, here's under President Pence. I would love to be a microwave on the wall in the White House bathroom as Trump wakes up, sits on the toilet, pulls out his phone, and sees President Pence as the top trend on Twitter this morning, which it was earlier this morning. Apparently there's this. Now, here's why this is trending. So there's this video. Now, this says, hey, Mr. VP, you and your staff say it quietly, worried that real Donald Trump will hear. We proclaim it loudly. It's time for President Pence. A new video from your friends at Defending Democracy Together. More info at presidentpence.com. Now here are, this is a doozy. So let's just take a glimpse at this little video. We'll pause it here, start it from the beginning, and give you a little full screen on this bad boy. Now, watch this. And we might stop it for the lies in it, which may not take long, but this is not. That's the third time you said it. I say hi because I always forget if I say hi. I just gotta say hi. All right. This is not from Vice President Pence, but somebody, the Never Trumpers, put this out asking for President Pence, and that's why President Pence is trending. Here it is.
Mike Pence doesn't brag about sexually assaulting women.
Mike Pence doesn't tell tasteless jokes. He didn't brag about sexually assaulting women. He made a tasteless joke.
Grab him by the I can do anything.
Mike Pence doesn't pressure foreign governments into investigating his political rivals.
You mean corrupt Democrats?
Ukraine should start an investigation into the Bidens.
Mike Pence doesn't mock and make fun of people with handicaps.
You got to see this guy. I don't know what I said.
Except we find out that he uses that same thing for anyone who he's mocking. Doesn't matter. In fact, I would say the president is an equal opportunity mocker. In fact, he used that same kind of caricature to mock himself when he was being interviewed by Barbara Walters. Okay, so there's 3 lies and three for 3. In fact, I should give you 1, 2, 3. Hi, Green Thunder Mighty.
Donald Trump is being impeached. It's time for President Pence. At least it's an improvement.
Notice now, this is no ringing endorse for Pence, because listen to what the last thing they say here. I know I kind of.
President Pence. At least it's an improvement.
Now, notice. At least it's an improvement. Bill Kristol is the one who sent that out, right? And which is fascinating because he said that this was your friends at something or other. but they don't think at least it's an improvement saying, well, we don't like Pence either. So clearly this is someone opposition to Mike Pence, to Donald Trump, whatever. So whatever. So anyway, so a lot of people are chirping in on this. Meanwhile, my dear tweeps, one thing we should absolutely not do today, is to retweet anything with the hashtag President Pence. I mean, Impotus is having a bad enough day. We don't want to upset him by making the trending term President Pence climb that. These poor, just little brain people just think, oh my God, Pence is not an improvement. I'm not saying he's an improvement. That wasn't my point. My point was the people who put this out don't want any Republican in office. So they're just being asked. They're just it's a swipe at the president, which is fine. They're more than happy to take their swipes at the president. I don't think it means Jack Dungabling, blah blah blah. Just it looks like great satire. It is, and in fact it is. But again, it's an attempt to get Trump to start tweeting, which he probably will. That's Trump. Anyway, Dean Obadiah, excuse me. Dean Obadiah, Trump derangement syndrome is what we see from Trumpers every day. They have put Trump over our Constitution. Au contraire. And even over their own principles and ethics. President Pence. So anyway, that's why it's trending. And everyone's excited about President Pence. Moving on. But there are some people. Now, wait, let me go back to that one. There are some people who also are saying, well, that wouldn't be an improvement because he believes in electroshock therapy for gay people. Okay, talk about something that's been debunked. No, he doesn't. Anyway, lots of people talking President Pence today. It ain't happening. Sorry. Maybe in 2024 or something. Anyway, Prince Charles is trending because apparently he snubbed Mike Pence. I'm sure Prince Charles just snubbed Mike Pence on Twitter. So he's shaking hands with people. He skipped President Pence or Vice President Pence. Now look what I just did. I said President Pence. Just before the program started, Prince Charles entered, bypassing the Pences completely before greeting other leaders and taking his seat. This is about, I think this is in Davos. Oh no, this is 75 years after Auschwitz. Liberation leaders gather again. So, and also Prince Charles is trending because he's talking at the Holocaust survivor. Okay, so a lifetime has passed since the horror of the Holocaust. We must commit to ourselves to ensuring their stories live on. Prince Charles says Holocaust survivors' experiences must guide and warn us while marking 75 years since the liberation of Auschwitz. That's a ceremony that they're having today in Vice President Pence's there because the president, I believe, is still in Davos for the economic summit in Davos. But so everyone's excited because now look, here's the other thing. These guys came out with their hands out. President Pence never moved his hands to be shaken. Notice he doesn't put his hands up. I don't know. So Prince Charles pulled out. Who gives a shit? God, these people are so petty. Secretary Mnuchin is trending. U.S. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin says Greta Thunberg can give economic advice after she goes to college. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, he'll get dragged for that. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin says climate activist Greta Thunberg is in no position to give economic advice until she's gone to college and come out with an economics degree. Who is she? Treasury Chief takes a swipe to her. Why is she at Davos, though? Well, because the people at Davos invited 10 climate activist teenagers. I'm sorry. I you know what? I think she can be. I don't think she necessarily has to go to college, but I think she can start giving economic advice when she writes her own Facebook post. How about that? Because we've figured out that she doesn't write her own Facebook post. Her dad and some climate activists basically run the Greta Thunberg Facebook page. So whatever. These people are pissed off though. From the people who brought you a game show host, president, a first daughter White House aide, a movie producer, Treasury secretary, an energy secretary who didn't know what the department did, and an education secretary with no experience in public schools. Oh, whatever. Scott Dworkin, anti-Trump extraordinaire. I'm just waiting on Melania to defend Greta Thunberg for mentions bullying. What bullying? Hey! Put her in the public eye and people are going to make comments. Now, did he need to say that? No. But I'm sorry. She chose, along with her family, who's pushing her into the public eye. Whatever. Thursday motivation. If there's not one right, okay, whatever you want to do it now. There are only so many tomorrows. There you go. That's a good motivation. Moving on. Michelle Carter, who was convicted of convincing her boyfriend to kill himself, is released from jail. Why? That was a while ago. Remember this, the texting case where she was texting her friend to kill himself, and so she got convicted of, I think it was convicted of manslaughter for urging her suicidal boyfriend to kill himself in text messages that include "Just do it, babe." Was released from jail Thursday after more than 3 months. Was shaved from her sentence for good behavior. So she stayed in good behavior while in jail. Carter, 23, walked out of Bristol County Jail in Dartmouth, Massachusetts, wearing the same white blazer, dark slacks, and dark turtleneck she wore last February when a judge ordered her to begin her 15-month sentence. The Plainville native didn't speak as 2 sheriff's officers, staffers helped carry 3 bags filled with her belongings and escorted her to a waiting car. She now must serve 5 years of supervised release. So, tough case. But if you watch that case, I just watched a little mini documentary on that case, and she needed to go to jail. She really pushed this guy into killing himself. Anyway, let's see if there's anyone commenting on it. HuffPost, no, just these mostly news stories. Michelle Carter's parents are on their way to pick her up. Media was lined up waiting to see if we will catch a glimpse of her walking out. Carter has served just under a year of her 15-month sentence after being convicted of involuntary manslaughter. So mostly these are people just reporting on it. Oh, there's our first thought, though. Hang on, let me do a really quick thought check. Make sure it's safe for work. Okay, it is safe for work. Here's our first Twitter trend thought, also known as the hashtag ho. Monica Moni, and her message is, "Where are you, my good guy with a good dick? Call me." And we have lovely Michelle Moni. Okay, there's our first Twitter trend thought of today. Yay! We've got our Twitter trend thought. I knew there'd be one eventually. All right, moving on. Let's see. He was already going to kill himself. All she is guilty of is not stopping him. Hardly jailable. You know what? And that is the debate. Advocatus Diaboli. That is the debate. And I think the reason she was convicted, though, was just the sheer amount of messages of her telling him to do it over and over and over again, and also when he was in the process not doing anything to stop it. And so it's a tough case. I'll see if I can find that little documentary on it, and I'll probably provide it in the chat if I remember to do that. It's not for sure that he was already going to do it, but she certainly did everything she could to continue to talk him into it. I don't know. I mean, that's such a hard case. I don't know what to say about it. Moving on, Trap Soul is something to do with music. Apparently, House of Balloons can smack both these albums now. I don't know. Anyway, some music things out today. If it would have been reversed, the guy would have spent years in jail. Possibly. Yeah, I mean, obviously the justice system works differently for men and women, but it's it's hard to. That's such a hard case. I can go either way on it. It is words, but hey, this is the power of words. I don't know if it sets a bad precedent either, but she literally hundreds of messages telling him that he should do it, and in different ways. And then she's the one who told him the method to do it too. In her text messages, well, try this, and that's the way he did it. So I don't know, man. If he's disturbed, why is she trying to convince him that he should kill himself? I don't get it. It's beyond comprehension. Hey, Johnny Hellcat, how you doing? Lena Waithe, that's the same. Is that the same girl? Lena Waithe. Who is Lena Waithe? Celebrities trending. Oh, Lena Waithe and wife Alana Mayo split. Is Lena what? What? Okay. Well, I don't know who either. It says celebrity. I don't know who she is. I'm not gonna lie. Lena Waithe looked like a cheating ass. Oh my God, I gotta say that because I'll get a. Well, I don't have monetization anyway. This person says I'm not gonna lie. Lena Waithe looks like a cheating ass dyke. Whatever. Don't care. Anyway, I don't know who these celebrities are, but she and her wife are no longer. Attorneys General. 5 states raise alarms about EPA coal-fired power plant waste. I see your 21 attorney generals arrange you 500 constitutional lawyers. 500 constitutional lawyers signed a letter stating your removal is required by the constitutional rule. What? Who? Yeah, you can get 500 lawyers on some side of any subject. Who gives a shit? That has nothing to do with this. 21 state attorneys generals. We see nothing wrong with the president inviting, oh my God, a foreign government into our democratic election. What? Oh, okay, I see. Utah attorney. Okay, there's got to be something about. Okay, here we go. Donald Trump tweeted. That's why attorneys generals is trending. I knew I'd figure it out eventually. Donald Trump tweeted this morning. Attorney generals from 21 states are urging the Senate to reject impeachment. They say the articles have legal and factual problems, and the Democrats' case sets a dangerous historical precedent. Even an unsuccessful effort to impeach the president undermines the integrity of the 2020 election because it weaponizes a process that should only be initiated in exceedingly rare circumstances and should never be used for partisan purposes. According to Heather Childers of Fox News, the Democrats are trying hard to damage Republicans prior to the election. That's why attorneys generals is trending, and so everyone's telling you, well, we got your 21 attorneys general. We'll raise you 500 constitutional lawyers. That's bluster back and forth. Trump tweets it, it will trend. Church of England is trending because sex is for married heterosexual couples only, says the Church of England, aka the Episcopalians. Pastoral guidance calls for Christians in gay or straight civil unions to be abstinent. Okay, that's the church's opinion, and I will respect the church's opinion just as I will respect people who want to be together and whatever. Again, my personal opinion, it's a bit of an oxymoron, but I'm never going to not recognize people who are friends of mine and want to get married, call themselves married or whatever, or are married. I don't care. It's not my business. The government shouldn't be in it. The church absolutely can decide whether their doctrine allows for that, and more power to them, and more power people who want to just commit to each other for a lifetime commitment. Everyone can have their own thing. The government can say the fuck out of it for all I care. If you don't like the religion, don't practice that religion. I agree. There you go. So the Church of England has their right to do that. Now, there are people mad. Fuck, and I can't stress this enough. These bigoted, backwards, bastardly bastards. I know, biology's a weird thing for some people. The guy who invented the Church of England married 6 wives, divorced 2, and beheaded another 2. Okay. The Church of England can still decide what their doctrine is. I'm pretty sure the Catholic Church says the same thing. Okay? Now, does that mean you should be rude or terrible to people who are gay, who are married outside of the Church of England? No, I don't care about what they do. Okay? Good for them. More power to them. You know, like I said, church can decide their doctrine. Moving on, House of Balloons. Now, I saw this earlier. Oh, this is that album. Never mind, I don't care. It's an album by whoever that band is. Bocce is trending in the news. Is it like Bocce Ball? Meet the Michael Jordan of Bocce Ball. Oh, this is like the world. Oh my gosh, what's this guy doing? He's got some kind of a curve on there. What's he doing here? What is going on here? Look at this shit. Oh my, oh damn! Oh my gosh, this is the World Indoor Bowls Championship as in bocce. Apparently they put like curves on the mat so you have to be able to figure out the curve. Look at that, like he went right between those, pushed his two together. If you know anything about bocce. Yeah. Oh, can you even see that on this screen? Yeah, you can, okay. I'm just dumbfounded by this shot. How did he put that curve on there? Yeah, lawn bowls. Yeah, it's bocce. It's called bocce, and this is the world championship. And he, oh my God, that's an amazing shot. It's kind of like curling without the ice, but your target is the first ball that's thrown out. I'm sorry, I can't get over that shot. This game is called bocce. I played this game once as a little boy. The object is to get the big balls closest to the small ball. Playing with my nano and his brothers, they'd walk around with rulers to make sure no one cheated. Dude, I'm sorry. We have a bocce set. We play bocce once in a while. There's a lawn game. And I'm freaking out over that shot. Okay, moving on. I can't. Happy birthday, Ja. Like Ja who? Is it Ja Rule? Who's Ja? Ja's some artist that I don't care about. All right, moving on. Megan is trending. Which Megan? Which Megan is trending? Is it Megan Kelly? Megan Price? Oh, Megan Kelly talking about Robert Downey and how unfair the whole blackface thing is. Huh? What did Megan Kelly say? Megan, I was so upset by how Tamron Hall was treated when NBC replaced her with Megan Kelly, but God will use those working against you as a footstool. Tamron is a top-rated TV show, is happy and professionally and personally, and people actually like her. She got the victory. Okay, I don't. Megan Kelly was paid millions to go away, and she can't even do that right. What did Megan Kelly do? Fine, Megan, we'll be honest. We don't like you. We never liked you. The world was thrilled to have a reason to get you off the television. We don't miss you, and this tantrum you're throwing makes us even more comfortable with the decision. Does this help you at all? Doubt it. Okay, here it is. Robert Downey Jr. wears blackface for Universal without regret because it sparked a necessary conversation. Universally, yay Robert. Me, never worn blackface, but had one of those necessary convos. Rehouse standards seem to have changed over time. Universal FU canceled. Yeah, we still haven't had the conversation about Ralph Northam yet, but yeah, Robert Downey had an interview with Joe Rogan talking about how he didn't regret doing the movie Tropic Thunder, which is about a dude playing another dude. Okay? Hilarious movie. Me, it doesn't bother me, the blackface in it, because it was making fun of the whole concept of using blackface and then this Australian dude playing another dude. Hilarious movie. But there are people, about 10% of the people, he said 90% of his friends don't even care about it. Some of his friends think he doesn't like that he did it. That's basically what it was. So Megan Kelly, I don't know. Megan Kelly comments on it. Now everyone's dragging Megan Kelly because, you know, people hate Megan Kelly. We just don't like you, Megan. Okay, is what it is. Megan Kelly's trending. That's why. Moving on, I bet that'll go up to the top 5. There's my prediction. My prediction for the day is Megan Kelly will be in the top 5 by the end of the day. Gary Kubiak in sports is trending. Why? Vikings assistant coach Gary Kubiak to become the offensive coordinator. Okay. Vikings officially hired Gary Kubiak as offensive coordinator. I expect he will want the offensive line bolstered with even more in the draft. Yeah, they need linemen. They really do. And then finally, happy Friday Eve, which is, I don't know. Oh God, I got to be careful on some of these hashtags that have no idea. I'm sorry, I just looked down at the chat seeing Midnight in Exile saying, I'm wearing blackface right now. Oh, well, there you go. Good for you. And hello, Piccolo. Piccolo, do me a favor. If Blind Press has put up the preview to her stream today, because oh no, she doesn't stream on Thursday. She streams on Friday. Anyway, never mind. If she is streaming today, you can put that in the chat anytime. And finally, the happy Friday's Eve. Kate says, I had the shittiest day at work yesterday, so this is me looking for all the validation, all of it. Insert smirky emoji here. The bestest vibes and new shoes, emotionally charged shopping for the win. Happy Friday's Eve. And then Brandy says, happy Friday's Eve. This sweet girl is up for adoption. Lots of people with happy Friday's Eve. Why is it just people showing pictures of themselves or their puppies? Oh, why is she playing with that girl's boobs? Oh, this is a hashtag ho. Or a Twitter trend thought. Here it is, Monica Moni, the last Twitter thought or hashtag ho of the day. Monica Moni says, watch my new video, how I come squirt from a wild sex machine. Video already on the site. I repeat, watch my new video, how I come squirt from a wild sex machine. Video already on the site. Thank you. She used all the top hashtags. See, okay, for those of you who don't know what the hashtag ho or the Twitter thought of the days are, these are people who put all the top hashtags in their message, and then they put a provocative picture of themselves up, and then they say something very sexual to get clicks. And so this is the Twitter thought. It looks like okay, I'm gonna take a chance and click. Okay, they're just in kind of little bodysuit things there, but she's playing with the other woman's boobs here. What is she doing? I don't get it. Oh, there's one right behind her. Let me make sure it's safe for work. I should always check that before I click these. Okay, it is safe for work. Oh my goodness. It is safe for work. Sorry, it was kind of startling when I actually looked at it. Here is the other one. Oh, it's Monica Moni again. It's the same woman, but this is a different person. Oh, I see. So, okay, you see this is Monica Moni here. I think that's her. And then here's Monica Moni again. Also, here's her message, being a Twitter thought. I cook delicious. I have a tender, chubby, narrow pussy, good tits. What else is needed? Call me. So she cooks delicious, have tender, chubby, narrow pussy, good tits. What else is needed? Call me. Twitter trend thought, hashtag ho. And then here's the picture she decided to use for it, showing that she does indeed have ample bosom. So there's our other hashtag ho of the day. And on that note, I am going to call it a day because, I have to, because I have to go to my other job. And so thank you so much for being here at the Morning Night Live today. I hope you had some fun. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Hit the like button before you leave so that I know that you like me. You really like me. Okay? And if you would be so kind, please share this stream out with your friends, your family, your neighbors, anyone that you interact with on the internet. So if you hit the arrow, you can go on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, the LinkedIn, all kinds of places. Or you can just retweet me by following me on Twitter, which is at PDawg Night. You can also, if you have, oh, no, I didn't get to the hashtag news today. Sorry about that. Hashtag people, there's a couple in there, but I'll get to those tomorrow. We'll probably do just hashtags tomorrow with the guest. Which is PDK News. Okay, make sure you do that. And also, if you want to donate to the stream, donate to PDawg for the entertainment purposes, or throw something in the tip jar, or just start the reparations process a little early, you can always throw something in the tip jar. PDawgNight.live, or that information is in the description down below. So, and if you're here after the fact, watching on repeat, please put something in the comment section so that I know you were here. On that note, I gotta go. And again, thank you for being here. My name is PDawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.